Back 50 years ago, there were con men, and that stood for confidence man. They were well dressed, they had a great vocabulary, they were a very likable person, and that's how they swindled you. But they had to do that one-on-one. They had to be standing in front of you. The difference today, 50 years later, is that they're in a kitchen with a cup of coffee on their laptop in their pajamas in Moscow. And that gets very scary. So they will take you for everything you have without any compassion whatsoever. Most people know me from the movie Catch Me If You Can. You know, between 16 and 21, I impersonated an airline pilot, a doctor, a lawyer. I wrote $2.5 million worth of bad checks. I was arrested when I was 21 years old. When I was 26 years old, the government offered to take me out of prison on the condition I go to work with an agency of the federal government for the remainder of my sentence. I agreed. I've been working with the FBI now for about 43 years. In every scam, no matter how sophisticated or how amateur, there are two red flags. The first red flag is at some point I'm going to ask you to give me money, and the money has to be immediately. You have to give me a credit card right now on the phone, you have to give me a bank account number, you have to stay on the phone with me and go down to Walmart and buy a green dot card, and then when you get through the cashier, read me the number on the back. Everything is this moment, and the minute anyone's asking you for money and it's immediate, that's a big red flag. A perfect example of these romance scams that have doubled in the last 2 or 3 years. You never met him, you don't know who he really is, and now he's asking you for $35,000. The other red flag is at some point in a conversation, I'm going to start asking you personal information. So I may call and say, I'm from your bank's fraud department, we detected fraud on your credit card, and I'll have a whole conversation with you, but then before it ends, I'll say to you, now Mrs. Jones, just to make sure you actually have your card in your possession, can you turn it over and read the 3 digits to me on the back of the card? So I'm going to ask you for a social security number, a date of birth, personal information. You didn't solicit that call. You didn't solicit that email. You have no idea who's on the other end of that phone. You never want to part with any money or any information. Those are the 2 red flags, the most important red flags to remember.
Invest in you. Ready, set, grow. CNBC and Acorns.